Hey everybody, it's me, Melody. Welcome to my stream. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button on your way in. Also, subscribe if you're new and share on all platforms to get me in that algorithm, get me some subscribers. So, it's a little late. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tired, but we will get through this. We have Blue here. He got some news articles he wanna share with
Yo,
us.
yo,
Hey Blue.
yo.
At the end of the news, we're gonna do some debates. So get ready for that. So what's going on, Blue TV News? What you got for us?
Poof, man, we're gonna keep this sweet and simple. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in and that's gonna tune in later for this show. I apologize for being late. I got stuck in some traffic doing some personal things, so I definitely apologize because I know y'all was waiting for this exclusive news.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
no, I was waiting. Can't wait to hear
absolutely.
what you got.
I mean, I want to bring up this article about a woman. Hold on, give me a second. Let me get in here. All
While you're
right.
looking for that, oh, okay, you ready?
Yeah, I got it. I pretty much got it.
You got the
We go,
articles ready?
yeah, we're gonna start with a 10-year-old Florida girl who shot and killed a woman. Her mother was involved in a fight with her mother was involved within in a fight last week and has been charged with murder. She also stabbed her 8-year-old cousin to death. Now
Hmm.
that's crazy. I want to know what your thoughts is on that.
Wait, so the 8-year-old little, well, not the 8-year-old, the 10-year-old little girl
Yes, correct.
killed someone because they was fighting her mother?
She shot and killed a woman that was involved in a fight with her mother, and then
Wow.
she stabbed her 8-year-old cousin to death.
I can understand her defending her mom, but I wonder what reason she had to stab her 8-year-old cousin to death.
I mean, this is why we want to bring y'all this news. We want to share y'all this news because upon you like sitting home and rock, watching your regular channel, 4, 5, 7, 11 news, they don't cover this stuff. They don't cover this stuff for what reason I don't know. But
Mm,
I feel like when I do read some of this stuff upon reading Instagram or Google, and I wonder why they don't cover some of these stories. So this is why we want to cover some of these stories. See, thank you, Kevin. You heard about that. See, and this is what I'm saying, and I'm glad that you heard about this because a lot of people probably haven't heard about this, which mean that this is true. This is true.
well, it's very sad. My condolences to the people who lost their lives in that situation. And also, I just think it's alarming that a 10-year-old was able to get a hold of a gun and a knife.
Absolutely. It's disturbing. Um,
Very, very disturbing. King Grady says there are missing details to that story.
it definitely is missing details. And it definitely is. Um,
Mhm.
I could get that for you. Give me a second. But let's move on to the next one. We're gonna come back to that once I find the missing detail. Well, Kevin, can you come up on the platform in a minute and can you maybe describe those missing details? If that's okay, can you let us know if you could do that?
Yeah, because we're only mentioning stories. We didn't
Yeah,
go we didn't go too deep into them. We're just mentioning things. So if you know more details, please come up when we open the panel.
we definitely
We'd
would like for
appreciate
you to
that.
come over there and do that.
Right. So what's the next?
Also,
Oh, go ahead.
like you gotta understand what we doing. We just mentioning things, and if y'all have any other information, we could do that. You could come on the platform and explain that. Also, I got a 19-year-old arrested for striking Newark police officer with a stolen car. This happened in Newark, New Jersey. Now, if you go and look up in RLS Media again, RSL Media, you can get the full story on that.
So someone, you said a 19-year-old struck an
Yes,
officer in Newark. You know
yes.
what's crazy? There's so many stolen car incidents in Newark, New Jersey, and so many hit and runs. It's ridiculous. Newark is known for these hit and runs.
Now, Miss Sim, he said share the live stream.
No, he's just saying share the stream, share it to every platform.
Okay, okay, I apologize.
No, it's okay. It's all good. Yeah, so what's the next article?
Okay, okay. Also, okay, we're gonna share this story. Yeah, y'all gotta understand what we're doing is just sharing stories. We're not giving you all the details. We're just giving y'all a glimpse because we want to keep it moving because there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the world. Also, we have a hero woman pulls out pistol and shoots dead a AR gunman. Let me say that again. A hero woman pulls out pistol and shot dead a AR-15 gunman who opened fire on a graduation party
Oh, we
in
did that one.
West
We
Virginia.
did that. We did that one already.
Okay, okay,
We did
okay.
that
So
last
let me
time.
hold on. Let me look. I think I'm in my wrong. I apologize. I'm in the wrong. What's the name?
Come on, let's get it together. Let's get
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
together.
I'm new with this, so y'all gotta bear with me. I apologize. Let me go here. Okay, here we go. A 23-year-old Memphis woman charged with multiple felons after firing shots into a woman's house with her kids inside, and she said, "I hope it hits one of them little bitches." Now that's
Wow.
crazy.
No, that's really crazy. So she shot a gun into a man's house and almost hit the kids. It sounds to me like she wanted to hit the kids.
Yes, correct.
So I wonder what type of relationship she had with this man and the kids.
Whatever relationship she had, I mean, she had to have some type of anger towards the kids. She definitely had some type of anger. I mean, what type of person, not even just a woman, I mean, even for a woman to do something to that magnitude, to shoot into someone's house and just hope it hit their kid, that's
Yeah, that's
crazy.
pretty wild. That's pretty wild.
I mean, what anger are you dealing with in your life to do that? Now,
Mm-mm-mm.
people go through a lot of things in the world, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure there are some people that's listening right now, and you might be going through something and nobody understands what you're going through. But should you harm an innocent kid, woman, or any human being because of what you're going through? I've been through a lot of things in life. My mother died, my father died, but never have I wanted to harm someone because of what happened in my life. I had
Yeah,
to be strong. I had to be strong. I had to better myself and just, just overcome that evil that you have in you. So
yeah.
I hope and wish and pray for people. that are going through things that they don't have the knowledge or the power or the know-how, and not don't go out there and harm other people, please. Please don't harm other people. And I'm speaking from experience. Don't harm someone else because you feel the way that you feel because of what you're going through in this present time in life.
Well, I don't know what she was going through. Obviously, she was batshit crazy. I mean, excuse my language, to shoot up someone's house and try to shoot kids. I mean, there's really no excuse. I don't
And
care what you were going through. I don't care what the kids did to you, what the man did to you. There's no excuse for that. So yeah, that's unfortunate. Very
but
unfortunate.
but I mean to allegedly to make that statement. Now again, this is allegedly. I wasn't there, and Miss Sims, you wasn't there. An audience, you was not there. So this all is allegedly what happened. We're just reading what we see, sharing the story. So I like to move on.
Okay, what's the next article?
Arizona cops watch a 43-year-old homeless man ask for help. I'm gonna repeat. Arizona cops watch a 43-year-old homeless man ask for help while he's drowning in a lake. And this is what the cops stated: I'm not jumping in after you.
Mm. So pretty much, he just sat there and watched the homeless guy drown. He didn't
Yeah.
want to help. He didn't want to get wet or dirty to save a
So
homeless man.
and let me go further into this. It says 43-year-old homeless man drowned to death in a lake while Arizona police officers stood by and ignored his plea for help. Body cam footage, officers respond to a disturbing disturbance between a couple near the near the Tampa Bay Saturday, May 28th, and his wife denied a physical altercation. But when the officer told the couple they were checking to see if either had any outstanding arrest warrants. So, so while this man was drowning, pretty much they're saying the officers was just trying to see if this man had any warrants.
Well, that's ridiculous. Where in this was in? You said this was in Tampa.
Yes, this was in Tampa, in Florida.
You know what? You know what's funny? GC always said Florida was a weird state. Like the weirdest things happen in Florida.
I agree.
Like, like it's crazy. Like who does that? He didn't even try to call for help or anything. Like he couldn't save the man. There's no excuse for that at all.
I also got something with intruder climbs in through bedroom window, rape a child. I'm not going to tell you the location, but it definitely was in New Jersey. So you had a guy that was
Grape,
young.
say grape, with like grapes.
I'm sorry, absolutely. And you know, I mean, you know what's sad? Sometimes you can only speak for yourself. You can only speak for yourself and your morals and the things that you would do and you wouldn't do. And you know, when you read some of the stuff and you see some of the things that people would do, I don't understand what mind state they in, but it's
Mhm.
sad. It's very sad to see people do some of the things that they do because they in the mind state that they in. So that tells me that we all need to support each other. You know, if you got a cousin, friend, family member, and they're going through something, by you just talking with them, it can change a lot because you have situations where people They do things. They kill their family. They shoot their girlfriend. They do things to their kids. Like the story with the girl, she shot the it's just so many things that I'm just hurt and disturbed by in this time of life right now. Honestly,
Yeah, but this one to grape a child, to break up in okay, to break in a house just to grape a child. That's sickening. That's not even that's unimaginable, to hurt a child. It's like you got to be the biggest coward in the world to want to hurt a child. So these people, I don't know what's going through their mind. I don't know what's in the water. I don't know what these people are eating, but there's something wrong with humanity. Like, to hurt a child is just wrong. To hurt
it,
anybody is wrong, but to break in a house and hurt a child, that's insanity. Like, that's insane.
it very much is.
Right. I mean, I hate when people say, oh, they were crazy. Heck yeah, they were crazy to do something like that. You gotta be crazy.
I mean, come on. Even a crazy person has some type of common sense, wouldn't you say?
No, definitely. But I mean, to do something like that, that's just outrageous.
Absolutely.
Right. Let's move on. What's the next article?
All right, give me a second.
Somebody said, where were the parents? Well, when a guy broke in, I guess the kid had his or her own room, and the parents were probably sleeping. That's my guess.
I mean, these days in time, give me a second.
Exactly, King ABC '07. It's just pure evil. It's evil.
It definitely is.
I don't know what's in the water right now, but people are losing their minds. Okay, what's
Give
the
me a
next
second.
article?
Give me a second.
Guys, remember, when Blue is done with his news, we are going to have some debates. So I'm going to drop the link for you guys. Whoever want to participate in the debates, hit the link. We're going to have a little bit of fun with it.
All right. So right now we're gonna go. Give me a second, y'all. I'm just scrolling through my notes. Also, on another subject, federal prosecutors suggest R. Kelly be sentenced to more than 25 years in prison. I want to know what you guys think about that.
R.
Now,
Kelly.
R. Kelly came up with some beautiful songs. He had some other type of songs which was kind of suspect, but for the Black African American culture, he came up with some good songs. Miss Sims, could you tell me one of the songs you came up with that come
You
to
keep
your
saying
mind
my
that
last name. Chill. No, he had a lot of good songs. He really did. I enjoy R. Kelly. I love R. Kelly. His music have nothing to do with his character. Well, it does in a way because some of the lyrics were weird, but what he did was wrong. But you know what?
allegedly?
You can't believe everything these quote unquote victims are saying because we all know how girls and women lie. I mean, some of them we know are true because they were recorded, they were on tape. I'm not saying the man is innocent because obviously he did some things. We already know he was on tape. You cannot make this up. He was on tape. But all of these victims cannot be telling the truth. 25 years, I'm going to say is a little harsh. Um he should definitely do some years. He should definitely pay for the crimes that he committed, but 25 years, I don't know about that. What's your take on it?
Oh man, R. Kelly, if you're listening, and if this message get to you, you made some songs that was very suspect,
He
very
did.
very suspect to the charges that you have been, committed of. One of them was name one of them.
What, one of R. Kelly's songs? There's so many
That
songs.
that you feel I want a woman's perspective. Now, when you think about it, what were some of the songs that you heard that may have sound suspect to you as a woman at this present time in life that you may look back and say, well, that was kind of a little suspect.
A lot of them.
Age ain't but a number. Age ain't but a number. What
Age
was
ain't
one of
nothing
those?
but a huh?
That was one of the songs, right?
Age ain't nothing but a number was just a weird song. Even though it's my song, it was a weird song. Honey Love. If you listen to the lyrics to that,
Now,
that was
now
weird.
pause. Now pause. Do that make you weird because that was one of your songs? Now, if
No,
that makes
I'm not
you
weird because I was a child. When R. Kelly was out, I was a really little kid singing these songs.
okay,
Um,
now,
uh,
no, my point is that I'm not saying that you're weird, but does that make other females interested?
you're breaking up. I can't really hear you.
What I'm
Hello.
saying is, if you feel like it was a weird song, right? Now, do that make other females interested? You could say it was weird, but do that make another female interested in that song?
What do you mean? Does that make another female interested in that song? I don't understand what you're saying.
Okay, you could say the song is weird, right? It could be a female that's young and she feels like that song is interesting to her.
I mean, he has some interesting songs. I'm
Okay,
confused with your.
this where I'm going at. Other weekend, I was with a family member. He's in his 50s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was in the backyard party. He came to me. He said, "Yo, man, there was some chicks that was like 16 years old talking about what was the precise word he said? Um, Pretty much they were saying that they they would deal with older men, but he acknowledged that they were 16 years old. Now, had he not been a man that wasn't into that, you understand what I'm saying? And he wanted to
Hmm.
keep that private and deal with these young ladies that commit that commits a crime. You see what I'm saying? They would have lured him in if he wasn't mature enough to ignore that situation.
Mm.
That's what I mean by being interested into it. See, you didn't take it because you're not interested into having sex with older men at that age. But for another female that's interested, and I think that's what happened. You had different females that was in different age brackets, and he got lured into some situations that he shouldn't have did.
Yeah. He definitely knew what he was doing, making that music. Like we said, if you listen to the lyrics, it's very suspect. It sounds like he was talking about little girls. Not only was little girls interested in his music, all women were interested in R. Kelly's music. So it was hard to put your finger on. Like you wasn't thinking, oh, he's talking about little girls. You wasn't thinking that
Exactly.
back. People wasn't thinking that back in the day. I don't think,
That's
you
my
know.
point.
So I don't think his music has nothing to do with him being a creep. He's just a creep. I still love his music. I'm still gonna listen to his music till I don't want to listen anymore. But he's just a creep. That's all. And like I said, a lot of these victims are probably lying.
I think I don't know. Maybe he wasn't a creep. Maybe he wasn't a creep, and maybe he was just like coming up with songs. And I think the more the generation the more the generation, the more like how can I say it? The more you're going into life and the generation change, I think he became a creep. I don't
No,
think
he said he was always a creep. Cause think about it. He married Aaliyah when Aaliyah was back in the 90s. When Aaliyah was way younger than him. Aaliyah was like 14 and he was a grown man. So let's not say he wasn't a creep because
let's
he
be
was.
realistic. You wouldn't have
He was
married him
definitely a creep.
you wouldn't have dealt with R. Kelly.
I would have dealt with R. Kelly probably, but I was a little
That
girl. R.
let's
Kelly's a grown man.
that should be the debate. What woman out here in that era would have dealt with R. Kelly? Who would and they wouldn't have thought about the age. They wouldn't have thought
Well,
about
all
how
of
old
them.
they was.
Any girl, because that's what was happening. So that's not really
Listen,
a debate.
so my whole thing is this. I think it's multiple females that out here would have dealt with R. Kelly before all this situation came up, all this debate. It's a lot of y'all would have dealt with R. Kelly. Let's be realistic. Y'all would have dealt with R. Kelly, but now that it came to like all this other stuff, now everybody want to back off and feel like they wouldn't have dealt. Y'all all would have dealt with R. Kelly. If R. Kelly came up to you and none of this was happening, if it wasn't Aaliyah, it would have been you.
But we
But
already know that. That's not like we already know that. Like that's what was going on. These women, R. Kelly was a superstar, so these women and girls were all starstruck over him. So that's what was happening. That's why these teenagers was dealing with him. They was dealing with him because he was a superstar. They were starstruck. So that's not really a debate. I'm not gonna lie. If I was a teenager in the 90s, which I wasn't, I was a baby. But if I was a teenager, I probably would have messed with him too.
I
So I mean, but R. Kelly is a grown man. You can't really say, oh, these little. He was 27 years old, messing with 13 and 14-year olds. So it's really him. He was the creep, you know. But these little girls aren't innocent either. So I mean, and I would even say they probably lied about it about their age, but they were saying the girls in the tape. I didn't see the tape, but they were saying the girls in the tape looked like little kids. So I can't even use that excuse. I don't know what was going on in that man's head. I just know he was a creep. Period.
I'm
But
not
yeah,
messing with no 13-year-old.
right, I'm not. Shoot, you shouldn't mess with nobody under the age of 18.
I agree.
I mean, R. Kelly did that and now he's paying the consequences. My only thing is I don't know if I think he should be doing 25 years. That's harsh.
The only thing I can say is I'm on live and I can speak that and not be afraid. Never ever have I ever messed with someone underage. Never.
Mhm.
So there's, I feel comfortable stating that because I know there's no one to say, whoopty wop wop, whoopty wop wop. I've never been that desperate.
I can't. You're breaking up.
Never have I ever been desperate to deal with someone underage for sexual, feelings.
Right. So R. Kelly was wrong for that.
And for
He
him,
shouldn't have done it.
for him to be in his stature, to be a superstar to do that, that is crazy.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was really crazy. But you have any more news articles, or should I start calling people up
Yeah,
to
that's
do this
pretty much.
debate? Okay, guys, so the link is in the chat. Come up and we're going to debate. Hit the link, guys. It's in the chat. Oops. Hit the link and we can start the debates. Okay, let me see what the chat is talking about while I'm waiting for people to come up. Kevin Murray said, I liked Gotham City. Yeah, Gotham City was a good song, Kevin Murray. I agree. I don't think R. Kelly made not I don't think he made one bad song. Like all of his songs were fire. You saw the tape? Yeah, I didn't see the tape at all.
Now, you know what's crazy?
What?
I made a lot of money off that.
Hmm?
I made a lot of money off that tape.
You made a lot of money off that tape. What do you mean?
At that present time, I had two stores.
Oh, you
You know,
had two stores.
and when that tape came out, obviously everybody was looking for it.
Your oh my god, your audio is trash. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, stay still. Stay right there. Stop moving.
All right.
Yes, I
What I'm
can hear
saying
you.
is, when that came out, I had two stores, and that was when the DVD, CD era was out. We made a lot of money off of that because everybody wanted to see it.
Hmm. Did you see it?
I think I
Hello?
feel weird if I say, yeah, I saw it.
You saw it?
Uh, I looked at it, I saw it, but it wasn't something I was saying about.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I didn't see it. I don't want to see no child pornography.
You got one?
Okay, so we have Mr. Know-It-All. Hi, Mr. Know-It-All.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Okay.
So, when it comes to this debate, am I supposed to agree or disagree with something?
Yeah, well, okay, so did you want to speak about any of the news he spoke about first?
When I came on, all I heard about was R. Kelly and the tail end of some other story I didn't get the full grasp of.
All right, well, let's talk about R. Kelly. So they're trying to give R. Kelly 25 years. Do you feel he should get that many years for the crime that he committed?
But is this 25 years on top of? Has he already been convicted of something, and then they're trying to give him another 25 years? Or is
No, he said they're trying to give him 25 years, period. Like,
so that'll be the first conviction? Is this 25 years?
right.
Oh, okay.
Do you
Uh,
feel that's too much or do you think he deserves it?
I don't think it's too much. I mean, the problem with R. Kelly is he was a predator times two, because he wasn't
Mhm.
just having sex with underage girls; he was filming it,
Right.
and then on top of that, I heard, I mean, that's the joke. He was peeing on them too,
Yeah.
so he's not just having sex with them; he's not just making the pornography, but then he's also trying to humiliate them
Mm-hmm.
and degrade them, you know. And
Mhm.
it was, you can't even say it was a one off. It's not like he did this with 100 women and found out after the fact one of them was underage. That that'd still be wrong, but it would, you can maybe explain it as a one off if he didn't know. But they were all underage,
Yeah.
from my understanding.
And it was
So
several tapes from what I understand, allegedly.
yeah, so I mean, that's a predator. He went after the young girls. It wasn't an accident. He wasn't duped. He did it on purpose, and I think he did it deliberately because he knew he could degrade them in ways he couldn't degrade grown women.
True. Yeah, it sounds to me like R. Kelly liked to sexually humiliate young girls, take advantage of them.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like to
that's what
me.
it sounds like to me. I haven't
Mhm.
followed the case. I'll be the first to admit I don't know all the evidence. Only video I ever saw looked like I mean, I don't even know if it was really R. Kelly. The one I saw, and it was just you could Google it, so that kind of made me feel like it couldn't really be child pornography. But it was
Mhm.
just some guy, some skinny guy, maybe could be R. Kelly in the far background, and some chick you couldn't tell how old she was, and there was no peeing or anything. So maybe I didn't see the real tape. But if that's
Yeah,
what they were trying to convict him with, I could see how he got off.
right. No, they say that in the tape you can see his face clearly. You can clearly see it's him. There was no like him standing in the background and of that. And they said you can clearly look at the girl and tell she's very, very young. It's not even like she could have lied about her age because she just looked like a child.
But I heard
That's
the
what they
girl the
said.
girl said it wasn't her. That's how he got off the first time.
Yeah, she was taken up for him. Just like those other girls was taken up for him not too long ago.
Well, then I could also see in that case how he got off.
Yeah,
Just it's
definitely.
not if she says it's not her, then how else are you going to prove how old the girl in the video is?
Right. But he also said it wasn't him. He tried it. But you can clearly see, people were saying that you can clearly see it was him. He even tried to blame his brother,
That's what I was about
and
to
it
say.
looked
I
nothing
heard
like
that.
his brother. Hmm?
That's what I heard. I heard they were trying to. He was trying. Somebody was trying to blame his brother.
Exactly. But you can clearly see it wasn't him. So, yeah, I just think that's crazy, you
But
know?
in the overall discussion of you know girls being underage, I was talking to a friend of mine's mom, and she was telling me how she and my friend's dad met, and
Hmm.
she met him when she was still in high school, and the guy was, and the dad was older, 20s, in his 20s or something. Back in the day, that wasn't that weird. It wasn't weird for high school girls to be dating college guys or college age guys.
No, it wasn't. That's the crazy part.
So I
Um,
think I don't know how old R. Kelly was when he married Aaliyah. Was he early 20s though?
no, they said he was 27.
When he married Aaliyah?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
he
never
was
mind.
an older man.
Never mind.
Aaliyah was like 14. Yeah,
Oh, she was 14?
I believe so.
I thought she was 16 and he was like 22 or something.
No, she was 14.
Oh,
She
never
was
mind.
14. Yeah. Wacky says that little girl in the video was the niece of singer Sparkle. Yeah, I heard about that. They introduced her to R. Kelly because she wanted to get her singing career, you
But I
know,
mean,
so
you see what I'm saying?
but
Not
they
not
didn't
only
know.
did you sexually humiliate her, not only is she underage, not only did you videotape it, but she's related to a supposed friend of yours too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't. Whatever they give them, you're not going to hear a protest from me.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna sit here and say he don't deserve it, but I will say this. Okay, let me ask you another question. Do you think all of these women who came out are telling the truth? Do you think they're all being honest?
In our Kelly, maybe not all, but in our Kelly's case, I tend to believe it more than other cases because, like you said, there were multiple videos.
Yeah,
If there were multiple videos, then that means there were multiple victims.
true.
So,
But
obviously you might have some people come in and try to exploit the situation and extort, but I don't know. And like I said, I don't have the details. I don't follow the case, but in R. Kelly's case, it doesn't seem too far fetched that he would have a lot of victims.
no, it doesn't. But you know how women and girls like to lie. Just like in the Bill Cosby situation, all of these people came out and said he did this, and then they found out it wasn't true. Just like the Michael Jackson situation where they were trying to say he was molesting little boys, and the little boys came out later when they got older and said it wasn't true. Their parents made them say it. So we know that people like to lie on celebrities for clout and for money. But
Um, in Bill Cosby's case, though, they proved that they were lying.
Yeah, they proved a couple of them was lying. They proved the model, she lied, and it was a couple of other people. But yeah, these people, I mean, they like to lie for clout, definitely.
And then you see Deshaun Watson got to a similar situation. Football player.
Oh, really? I don't really know about that.
He he gets massages, private massages, and one woman came out and accused him of some sexual something, and then after that, women just started coming out the woodworks.
See? Yeah, and it probably wasn't even true because women lie, unfortunately.
I
This
mean,
happens all the time.
hey, what's
I
up,
wouldn't
everybody?
I wouldn't pin that
Oh,
all on
so
women though. Everybody lies if there's a way to exploit the situation.
definitely. I agree with that. Hey, Wacky.
Hey, what's up? What's going on?
What's up?
What
Okay,
up?
now this is better. What's up? What's going? Y'all can hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Oh yeah, what's going on? Oh yeah, well, as far as the Deshaun Watson situation, the New York Times yesterday they put out an article, and if anybody read the New York Times, you know they're very detailed when it comes to their investigations. And when it comes to the Deshaun Watson situation, the New York Times put out uh, a group of text messages in which Deshaun Watson was texting a lot of the females that he was getting massages from, begging for sex.
No,
So
you said
technically,
Phil Watson.
say that again.
You said who you was talking about?
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, the quarterback for the
Okay,
Cleveland Browns.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, man. Now he has like 66 accusers, man. So I think he's going to get that 1 year suspension. He better be glad that the only thing he's really going to suffer is a suspension from the NFL. Like he's not really facing jail time.
Mm.
But
Mm. Yeah,
uh
he's lucky about that.
yeah. But as far as the R. Kelly situation that y'all was talking about previously, I know this video is supposed to be a debate, but I want to give some more. I want to give some details when it comes to R. Kelly situation, where
Absolutely.
R. Kelly R. Kelly faced two federal convictions, one in New York and one in Chicago.
Mm.
So months ago, or maybe a year ago, when everybody found out that he was guilty of trafficking and what have you, that was
Hmm.
the first federal court case in New York City where he was found guilty of that, and I think he was already charged with 20 something years in prison.
Mm.
Now, when it comes to this situation, I'm assuming this is um the second federal indictment on him, which is based in
Okay.
Illinois. So
Okay.
yeah, this guy ain't gonna see the time of day in a long time. You know,
Yeah.
this guy's a real perv. I know certain people from Chicago who told me that R. Kelly had a history of hanging around different high schools in Chicago,
Oh,
and
yeah.
this is when he was famous. This is when he was famous. You know, and that he would just hang around different high schools, chasing after underage girls. I mean, this guy was a predatory dude, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah, and yeah, it is, and he's also charged with trafficking. I know in his first federal indictment here in New York, he was charged with trafficking him and his entourage. Like, yeah, they were charged with trafficking, and I think I think the federal government put out the RICO Act on them. I think they did. Someone can correct me
Hmm.
if I'm wrong. Yeah. And if you guys know about RICO, which is something that what that rapper Young Thug is facing, which is something that uh, uh what's this guy Takashi 69? That's what he went to jail on. When the
Hmm.
federal government charge you with the RICO Act, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to beat that case. When the
Right.
federal government charge you with RICO, they do that because they have tons and tons and tons of evidence that you're connected with a group of people that did illegal activity. And that's
Right.
all they need is proof that you're connected with that group. And that's it. You're going to jail. You're going down. So he was connected with a group of people who was accused of trafficking females. So once again, like I was saying, I'm assuming that now this situation with R. Kelly, this is dealing with his second indictment. Thus, he's probably facing like a combination of 50 to 60 years in prison. He ain't getting out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we all agree that he deserves every year that he gets.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
If he
Yeah.
did what he did.
No, he did it. He was on tape.
You wasn't there. We wasn't there. We don't know that.
But I'm not saying we was there. I'm saying the evidence was on tape. He was on those tapes. It was him. He did it. Now, what
How
I'm
we
gonna
know
tell
that
you,
evidence wasn't planted? How
how
we
could
know
you
they
plant?
didn't?
How could you plant a man having sex?
Not back in those days.
That don't make any sense.
Nowadays, with deep fakes, he may have an argument.
I'm just saying, let's be realistic. The government is one step ahead of all of us. If they have a plan, they could put that plan in place, put 5 to 10 years to make the projection seem what it is. And I mean, look, they did this to what's his name? What's the you look at Tupac, Mike Tyson, R.
But they
Kelly.
weren't on tape. Tupac and Mike Tyson wasn't on tape. There was no evidence.
How do
It was
we
just
know
a
that was
word.
R. Kelly
Um,
on tape? You
you
didn't
can
even
you
watch the
can
tape.
see
You
because
didn't watch the tape. You did not watch. You said you did not watch the tape. So
Oh,
how can you say that?
I
okay,
didn't
but
watch it, but other people did. What are you talking
okay, but
So
about?
how
let me
can you
tell
go
you.
off of what other? See, that's the problem. How can we go off of what other people say? You stated you did not watch the tape, so you don't know if it was
Okay,
him.
okay, Baloo. Now let me tell you this. Unfortunately, I saw the tape back in 2002 when it first leaked out. I saw the tape. That was him. That was him. Okay, that was him. And as far as your question about how do you know if law enforcement or the government manipulated evidence to make it seem that it was him, you're going to have to prove that evidence was manipulated. You can't just, just make that allegation and not prove it and use that as an argument. That won't fly in a court of law. You know, that was him, bro. And
So
now, go ahead.
are you saying it was him to the best of your
I
knowledge?
I saw it. I saw the tape in 2002.
Yeah,
That was him.
you see, you can see it. It's there.
It,
You can't.
it, Yeah, it was clear. It was clear as day. I remember I was at one of my family members' house, and unfortunately, he showed it to me. He was like, "Hey, look at this." I'm like, "Hold on, is that R. Kelly? Dude, he pissed on this chick. What the fuck?" Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Melody,
Yeah,
is it true you didn't see the tape?
I did not see the tape.
Are you telling
That
the
was
truth?
before her time.
Yes, I
Okay,
didn't see the tape. No,
because you seem pretty convinced it's him on there.
because people said they saw it and he said it's definitely him.
I mean, are are you guys old enough to remember that peer to peer app called Kaza or Kaza?
Mm.
Ask that
Uh,
again.
Kaza. It's a peer to peer program where you could download videos or music.
No, I never use it.
Oh, okay. It's almost like LimeWire, but like around 0203, it was a little bit more popular than LimeWire or BearShare. Yeah, that my cousin used that in order to download that. And he's like, "Hey, let me show you something." And that's when I saw it. I'm like, "What the hell?" Yeah.
I almost want to Google it to see if I could find a still pic to see if it's his face or not. But you never know what you'll find. Plus, I don't want that search on my computer.
Yeah, no,
But
that's
Yeah.
I would like to see like at least a still to see if that's his face or not. Because I mean, I think he has a fairly distinct face. I mean, you can tell it's. I think you can you wouldn't confuse him for somebody else.
No, I think you know if it's him or not. He tried to say it was his brother. He looked nothing like his brother.
Yeah, I mean, trying to get his
All right,
brother to take the
let me
fall.
Google R. Kelly's brother and see what comes up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but yeah, listening to all of this, it does sound like he probably deserves to go down. And I hate to say that, but I mean, there's no way to get around this.
So let me ask you something.
Hmm.
What if she said piss on me?
What? What are you talking about?
This is debate. I'm just debating.
What if the child said piss on me? What that? I'm
I
confused
mean,
by that statement.
All right, you saying what if the child said piss on me? You got kids that want to have sex with older men.
You're
So
right.
why is it to be like surprised for a kid to say piss on me?
I'm not gonna answer that. You guys answer that. That's
Listen,
ridiculous.
hey, listen. I'm not
Well,
saying I would do it. I'm we being realistic here.
man,
Just because I not to cut you, just because I say that, that don't mean I condone it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just saying, what if? I clearly said, what if? What if?
you said what
What if?
if the kid said piss on me?
I mean, look at the, I. Let's be realistic.
Well,
If y'all
I
saw
gotta
the
answer.
video, not to cut you off, if you saw the video, right? Did she say stop? Don't do that. I don't want that to happen. Did she say that? Did she say that?
No, I don't. I assume not. But let me. That actually does get into a good topic
nope.
we could be debating, right?
She didn't
Like
say
how
that, right? I'm
wrong.
not saying that it was right that he did what he did. I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying, what if that's what she wanted?
All right. Well,
Now,
No,
don't get it,
I gotta answer.
he
don't
was
I
get
gotta
it
about to
answer for
twisted.
you.
answer.
I gotta
Don't get it
answer for you.
twisted. I'm not into no weird type of thing like that. I
I
would
got
never
you.
do
I
that.
gotta answer though.
All right, let him answer it.
This is my answer to that is this is the gray area of statutory grape that I sometimes don't agree with, right? Like we treat I'm not saying in R. Kelly's case specifically, but just in general, an underage person consensually has sex with an older person. And we just assume because of this age difference that the young person was taken advantage of. But
Correct.
if a young person, if a 15-year-old girl got a train run on her by the entire high school football team, that's legal. Nobody's going to say, oh, she didn't consent or, she can, she, a 15-year-old girl can consent to getting a train run on her by an entire football team, but she can't
Hmm.
consent to a single sexual encounter with a 20-year-old.
I agree with
Be-
you on that.
because
Go ahead.
because it's the 20-year-old's responsibility to know better. You know,
I agree.
uh,
I
yeah.
agree. I
You know,
But
definitely agree.
what is he
when it
supposed to
comes,
know?
hold on for a minute, Ms. Noto. I mean, when it comes to statutory R, the thing is viewed as that minors are unable to make a rational decision,
I agree.
especially when it comes to having sexual intercourse with an adult, and that an adult has the ability, well, according to statutory R law, that an adult is capable of making a rational decision when it comes to having sexual intercourse. Thus, because the
What?
law views that between a minor and an adult, therefore, therefore, even if in that tape, if the girl told R. Kelly to urinate on her, in which she did not say that,
Hmm.
the law states that the law looks at it as, well, hey, she's, because of her age, she's not able to make a rational decision.
That's the
So
decision.
even in that specific situation, R. Kelly, being the adult, had the ability to say no.
So wacky.
But from a
Mm-hmm.
logical perspective, does that make
Hold on.
sense?
Go ahead.
Does it make sense that a 15-year-old isn't capable to make a rational decision about sex with an adult, but they can make rational decisions about sex with people their own age?
Mm.
I mean, it's hypocritical. I mean, it's hypocritical, but hey, that's the way it is.
Now,
Is that for
I'm not
law?
against. I'm not saying I'm against the law because you do have to draw a line somewhere. Like you can't be having consensual sex with 10-year-olds. You know, I don't care what the 10-year-old wants. You got to stay away, and you do have to draw a line somewhere. But I don't always see like individual cases of statutory R as being that bad. Like when you see a football player had sex with a teacher, like do you really think that kid is traumatized? I've known
Can I,
people who had sex with their teachers. They're like,
But like you said, it depends. Like 15, you know what you're doing. 15 is old enough to know what
can
you're
I,
doing.
is it old
I
can I,
mean,
enough
at,
to have
can I,
sex
but
with
at
can
the
I
same
speak?
anybody
time,
though?
Can
you
I
still a
speak for
child
myself?
though. Like
Can
Mr.
I
Note.
speak for myself?
Hold on for me. Like Mr. Note all said. Like the thing is that a line must be set. You know, okay, this
Absolutely.
person's 15 years old, but an adult, being the elder person, should have the responsibility to say no and know where to draw the line.
I
Can I
agree with
speak?
that.
Can I speak for myself?
Go ahead.
I could not imagine me personally. I might be saying what I'm saying, and me personally, and I can speak this to the internet and the world, and no, nothing could come back to me. I could not imagine having sex with somebody that's a child.
No, why
Me
you
being
personalizing it though? We know
no, no,
that.
no, 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 no. You don't know that. Yeah, y'all don't know me, so you don't know that. Just like we don't know R. Kelly, you don't know that. I'm speaking just in general. Just,
Let's
just
not say child. Could you have sex with an 18-year-old?
no.
Okay, so in your case, it's about an age differential,
I,
not
I
necessarily about the legality of it. You don't want to have sex with someone that's too much younger than you.
no. I couldn't because it's like I'm too mature for you. And
For a
now that
one
I'm
night stand.
talking, now that I'm talking and we talking like, yo, R. Kelly, you too mature for them, and you too mature for them, and you have access to people that's more mature than what you're going for. You
The
you don't
problem with
have to go for that. You
the
don't have
problem
to
with R.
go for
Kelly is he had a. It seems like he had a compulsion, right?
yeah.
Like even if
Now
you see
yeah,
someone who's underage, you're like, damn, she's fine. But then, like most dudes might look at a woman and be like, damn, she's beautiful. Then they find out she's under 18, like, oh, never mind. They
yeah,
can they can walk away.
yeah.
R. Kelly couldn't walk away.
Yes, he could have,
I
but
mean, he
he
could have,
chose something
but
different.
psychologically, he was drawn to it to the point where
Yes.
he couldn't in quotes. Let me say couldn't in
And
quotes.
that's what makes it sickening. That's what
Yeah,
makes
that's what
it
I'm saying.
disgusting. That's what make it disgusting. Like I said again, like I just said, I had a friend. Now he could have not had came back to us and said, "Hey man, there was some girls down there. They was thick as hell. They was 16 and said we like older men." He could have kept that to himself, got their number, and did the activities that he could have did. But he did not choose that. He did not choose that route. He chose to say, "Hey man, these motherfuckers, these girls, they said this whoopty wop wop, they bugging. What's wrong? You see what I'm saying?" So the moral of the story is this: Hey man, R. Kelly, you had a opportunity to not make those situations what it was, and you got comfortable on doing what you was doing, and eventually you paid for it. You paid for 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 the disgusting things that you did when you had the opportunity not to do it. You had the opportunity not to do it, but you did it. And let's R. Kelly was successful. He could have had any type of mature woman that he wanted. but he chose to take advantage of someone that was young. He chose to feed into that fetish, and that's what makes it disgusting.
But before we, make this so one-sided, can we broaden the conversation a little bit? Because I feel like it doesn't even have much to entirely to do with age. Because everyone knows there's a double standard when an older woman has sex with an underage guy.
Hmm.
It's not condemned as much. It's not seen as this as revolting. Someone in the comments said Jada Pinkett Smith when she was accused of when she was very recently accused of having a sexual relationship with one of the members of Crisscross when he was underage. Did anybody in the media even question her on it?
Nope.
Was she ever even? Did anyone come after her? When that one
Nope.
actress was exposed for having sex with an underage guy, and he had photos of them together in bed. That the lady who used to be married to that travel, he was like a travel Bourdain, Anthony Bourdain. She was married to Anthony Bourdain. Some guy, some kid, exposed her, had pictures of them together in bed. Nothing ever happened to her.
Well,
So I mean, I kind of feel like it's only underage girls having sex with underage girls that's truly felt as being revolting.
well,
Underage
can,
teenagers, let me say teenagers, having sex with any kid is considered disgusting. But I think when you're 16, 17, 18, especially 18-year-old boy, nobody cares.
well,
Nobody
can,
worries about your any trauma you might have experienced at the hands of an older woman. In
well,
fact, you'll
can
get
I
props
can
for
I
something
can I
like
respond to that, Mr. Know-it-all? Let me respond to that.
that.
As far as what you saying, that female who was married to this actor, in which I don't know the details, but I'll just make a theory that maybe because being that she was married to an actor, that they had the money to afford a good enough lawyer to hide that stuff underneath the rug. Because at the end of the day, you got to count that as a factor too. I don't. So when it comes to people with money, they got enough money to get away with almost anything. You know, and also, also at the same time, I mean, there've been plenty of females who have been in prison for sleeping around with underage males, like Mary Kay Letourneau, for one example. And even recently, there's this teacher, 28-year-old, who was caught sending uh, naked pictures to an underage boy. And she's going to have charges pressed on her.
Facing
So
25 years.
what happened?
But how many of them are facing 5 years?
Well, they're not facing
Yeah,
trafficking
they usually
charges, and
get
they're not
3,
facing
4 years.
and they're not being charged with RICO. I mean, if you're being charged with RICO and you're being charged with trafficking, yeah, you're gonna face like 25 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
get.
that's the reason why. So females have been punished by law when it comes to statutory R.
Yeah, but I mean, they usually get something that's just seen as lenient. They often
You
get
know what?
lenient punishments.
But you
Sometimes
know
they don't
what's
even go to jail.
true? But you know the
I
thing
wouldn't say
is, boys
yeah.
brag about being ard by women. That's what it is. I've heard grown men brag about their babysitter doing things to them. And it was like, oh, it was good. I loved it. So that's the difference.
Well, I mean, I agree. I don't think it is a double standard in a way, but I think it's a double standard perpetuated by
Is,
men. Like
is it
we're
a
the ones who don't
mental?
give a shit if another man fucked the older woman, and you get props for it.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's ignorant people though. That's not that you're not talking about a court of law in this case. You're talking about the ignorance of some people in society.
Can
Yeah,
we?
okay,
So
yeah,
why
you
wasn't
might
Jada
get that.
Pinkett ever even asked about Chris Kelly? Or was it Chris Kelly's the guy from Crisscross? Did
I mean,
anybody
was it?
has
Go ahead.
anybody in this chat or in this panel seen anybody asking Jada Pinkett if those allegations are true?
Nope.
I
I mean, but
haven't.
but those are allegations, though. I mean, where's the? I mean, is it an actual fact?
Well, I
Can we
mean, other
can we
people
agree?
have gone down on allegations alone.
Who have gone down on allegations alone? Who?
Someone mentioned in the chat Kevin Spacey. He was accused of his was a gay situation though for a younger boy, and he lost his career over it.
Oh, but he didn't face any charges, though. You
But,
sure he lost his
but
career?
that's what I'm saying.
He didn't face any charges, though,
he
so he didn't
suffered
go
some
down.
consequence though. He suffered some consequence.
What
What
consequence?
consequence?
Because what consequence? Because
He
technically
lost his
speaking, the court
show.
of law, since he didn't go down, he proved his innocence, right?
No, he if he I don't know if he was brought up on charges or not, but before he was ever brought up on charges, he lost his show House of Cards over it.
Okay, okay, but once again, the charges were dropped. So technically speaking, in the eyes of the public, he proved his innocence.
I like to
Well,
ask
he was
everybody a
canceled.
question
He
real
was
quick.
canceled basically.
I mean, but was he blackballed? Because he's not fully blackballed from Hollywood.
I think he is. I
Can I
mean,
ask
You think
he
everybody?
he is?
hasn't won any.
Do we know for sure if he's blackballed?
Can I ask
Yeah,
everybody on the panel? Not pardon me. Can I ask everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat? Can we just agree that it's definitely a mental disorder?
Well, that goes without saying.
But
It's
I'm
what a
saying
mental disorder.
for someone to feel that it's okay, vice versa, male or female, to have sex, any sexual any sexual feelings towards someone that you know that is not the age for you to be feeling that way towards. That's a mental
What
disorder.
age is that?
That's a gray area, man.
That's
Because
a
if
mental.
you're 20 years old, I mean, is it really wrong
Come
for you to
on,
be attracted
man.
to a
Go pay for
16-year-old?
sex. Fuck off. Come on.
Is it?
You that desperate? That's desperate.
I didn't say that you go after a 16-year-old, but
That's
if a 20 year
desperate.
old if a 20-year-old is attracted to a 16-year-old, is that really that outrageous?
Nope.
20 and 16, not really. But when you're 27 and 30,
That's a
and
mental
when
disorder.
you're 30 years old looking at 15, 16-year-olds, that's a whole
That's
nother
a
thing.
mental
But
disorder.
is it? We're not. I'm not talking about pursuing them or
Hold
having
up.
sex with them. But
I'm sorry.
if you look at a 16-year-old and she looks like a model, and you're like, damn, she's pretty. That's a mental
Wait,
disorder.
didn't they say he hung around high schools or
No,
something?
I'm not defending R. Kelly. R. Kelly's different. R. Kelly sought younger age women, girls. He rejected girls when he found out they were too old. Like, what type of person goes up to a girl, thinks they're 14, 15 years old, finds out they're 18, and is like, yeah, never mind.
I have a question.
Wait,
If
I have,
Hmm.
if a guy is way older and he marries her and he's not a creep, does that make it different? Like how they used to do back in the day? Like my grandparents got married at 13 and 14 and they, till death did them part. Does that make a difference to you, Baloo?
I think it plays a part in influencing others to feel like it's okay. So
No,
it's
I'm just saying,
wrong.
like, what if these guys weren't just screwing them? What if they got married and they made them, they did the right thing, quote unquote, whatever that means? Would that change?
Again, it encourages the next generation to feel it's okay. And that creates the mental disorder.
Well,
I
13 and
never
14 is a lot different because they're the same age. But if they're 13 and
no
30,
see
if they're 13 and 30, that's where the
see
problem comes in.
see, but we have
But
to dissect
historically,
this.
that's not even true.
We have to dissect this and be honest with ourselves. See, you're saying it's okay, but then when the next generation or someone plays in part to what they think it's okay, see, they think it's okay. Okay, say a 13, whatever, 14-year-old marry each other. Now someone that's whatever age they are, that makes them feel like it's okay because we allowed it and accepted at that age. We had to stop it there. We have to stop it there. It's not okay for a 13 and 13-year-old to marry each other. No, it's not
It's not
okay.
okay for two 13-year-olds to marry each other now. But in
Right.
another time period when you grew up agrarian, you were just farming, you were already responsibilities wise an adult when you were 13, 14 years old. You'd learned
Me
everything
personally, I
your
would
parents
feel a
and the world. Hmm?
me personally, I would feel ashamed at my age that I am to be walking around with someone that is underage. That's a shame.
In this
I would feel
society, yeah, it
ashamed.
is.
How you know what I'm saying?
Let me
I'm
let me
20 whatever age. Let me just say something. I'm whatever. I'm 26, 28, and I'm with someone walking around. How do you feel proud about that? That's a mental disorder because I could not see myself doing that. I don't care
well
what I'm going through in life. I don't care if I'm not having sex and girls are rejecting me, or if I'm in a relationship and my spouse, I'm in a relationship and they're not having sex with me. To this day, I would feel ashamed to be with somebody underage.
but
I
this is
would
what I'm
feel
trying to
ashamed.
say. This is what I'm trying to say, okay? Historically, especially, millennia ago, people were not counting how many revolutions they made around the sun. That's not how you determined whether someone was an adult or not. You determined whether someone was an adult or not based on how their body had developed and at what stage of development they were in. So my grandma too, just like the divide was saying, and I'm wondering the divide if you're from Africa or not. My
No,
grandma,
I'm American.
okay, because my grandma was married at 14 as well. She had her first kid at 14. She was already married. When you live in a society where, in our society, a 14-year-old girl is still in school and she's not even near done. But in other societies, you're already doing everything an adult woman does. So that's why I say I don't. When we start talking about mental disorder, I'm like, the mental disorder is more the inability to turn down the sex, right? Like, oh shit, you're underage. Okay, I'm out of here. R. Kelly, for whatever reason, he didn't have that willpower or that. This is not even willpower because it's easy for most people, but he just didn't have it in him to stay away from the young girls. In fact, quite the opposite. He went after the young girls. It's almost as if the the fact that it was taboo made it more appealing. Because, like I said before, he would go after a girl he thought was young, find out she's actually 18 or 19, and lose interest.
Yeah,
Well,
that's sick. But
Yeah,
the
that's
reason
what I'm saying. That's sick.
the reason
Because
why it's such a problem now and there's such pushback is because these guys aren't trying to marry these girls. They don't want to build anything with them. They just want to use them. Back in the day, men would marry young girls and stay with them until he died or whatever. And
true.
that's a big thing that I think Baloo is missing. Like, if these guys had good intentions, I don't think we would be feeling this way. But because they do them so dirty, and now you're making a messed up person. You do all this crazy stuff to these little girls. Yeah, that's wrong. But back in the day, these men made honest women out of these girls. They taught them things. I'm not saying they groomed them, but it's like it wasn't like frowned upon like it is now.
Well,
But
well,
but
It
okay.
wasn't
divine.
If you
necessarily
What
let
I'm
me say
sexist.
saying
something. Let me
is,
say something. Let me say something. It's okay. You're kind of right and kind of wrong when you talk about back in the day because, okay, each state within the United States, as far as the United States of America is concerned, each state in the United States have a legal age of consent, right?
Yeah.
Some states is 17, others is 18, others is 16. But if you do the history of the age of consent in each state of the United States, you see that the reason why each state decides to do that was to stop adult males from having any type of romantic relations with younger females by creating an age limit to say that okay, if if someone is younger than this age, then an adult is not allowed to be with them. So even back in the day, stuff like that, as far as the governments of each state is concerned, they didn't like that. So it was still kind of frowned upon.
Can I say something? See,
Because
we have,
I'm sorry, Baloo. When you look
no.
at the age of consent laws in each state, they're very old laws. They're like 100, years old. But I'm done. Yeah.
Now that's the problem. That is the problem. What you said for the states allowing this state allowing this age. That's where the conflict comes in at, and that's where people are not on the same page because one state is allowing something, the other state is not allowing it. You understand what I'm saying? So when one state allows something, it create a perception of something. When one state doesn't allow something, it creates another perception. We everybody needs to be on the same page. It's wrong. This age is that's the age, and that's how it should be across the states. And that's the misunderstanding. People are allowing certain things here, and then they're not allowing it here. And then as time go along, things get mixed all up, and it causes confusion because nobody is on the same page on what is wrong and what is right. It shouldn't be right over here and then wrong over there because then people move around and things start to get to intertwine and now it's too much confusion. I might move over here and oh, what I did over here was okay. Now when I'm over here, it's not okay.
But
That's
But I
hold
that's
think
on,
the
it's only
hold
confusion.
on, no,
I think
hold
it's
on.
only
But
people
Baloo,
like R.
Baloo,
Kelly who really care
every,
about what
every
laws apply in which state. I think most people just treat 18 as like the default unwritten rule. It's only the people who are trying to game the system that really care which state is 17 and 16. Like most people, I feel treat it as 18. We'll just say 18 and operate off that. But go
I
ahead,
mean,
Wacky.
yeah, yeah. I mean, to respond to what Baloo's saying, I mean, every state in the United States are on the same page when it comes to statutory R. But the difference is which age is considered the legal age of consent. That's where each state differ. But as far as understanding that there should be an age limit to say that okay, an adult should not have relations with a female that's younger than this age. Each state are on the same page when it comes to that. It's just that different states have their own age of consent due to them having their own autonomy. You know,
And they also
yeah,
have
18 is safe everywhere, like Jude is saying in the chat. But on average, in the United States, the age of consent is about 16 to 17. Well, once again, I'm saying that when you do the history of the age of consent of each state, it was done because each state wanted to stop adults marrying and having children with very young children because a lot of children who are, let's say if a girl is 14 years old, she's not fully developed yet. So if she has a child when she's not fully developed yet, that can mess her up internally.
See,
So
that's weird.
well
That's
two
weird because I know a lot of girls that are fully developed and they're a little girl and they want to have relations, et cetera, et cetera. And I think the reason why all of this is happening, like age of consent or whatever, is because I think it's kind of like a correction thing happening. Because let's say, for instance, when I was in school, when a girl would lose her virginity, that means that was her first time having sex. She was called all types of hoes and this and that. And, she got flamed. If and this is just me conjecturing, like, I think that if that stuff wouldn't happen, we wouldn't even be having this debate. But
Thank
it's kind of like, because if a girl does choose to, like, on her own volition, like, I'm gonna lose my virginity and then get called a hoe and hoe, this and that, well, then, okay, you guys can go ahead and get jammed up with statutory and this and that. And that's just my opinion. I always felt that's why it's like kind of like our society trying to correct that thing. So I don't know, take
I
it or
think
leave it.
I think they're actually trying to correct something else. I think it's because we live in a time where nobody is really prepared for adulthood at that age anymore. We now require more
We're
education
devolving.
and training to survive in this world as an adult than you did 100 years ago. So I think the statutory grape laws exist because it's just bad for society, for young
I'm
people to be wrapped up in marriages. I mean, it's not just
I
it's not
don't
just
think
the sex;
so.
it's also
I
the
don't think
marriage.
so.
let's not
Listen,
go
bro,
by
listen,
about what we
listen, bro.
think and go
It's not only,
by what we know.
but check it. It's not only the sex that's illegal. It's also the marriage. You can't marry them. You know, so it's like they were like, we're in a time
Mr.
now
Know-it-all,
where you're not
Mr.
prepared for
Know-it-all,
adulthood at
listen
14.
to me. Listen to me. With women, they will tell you the younger you are, the more advantageous it is for you to have children. Your body bounces back. The older you get and you have children, it breaks you. I've heard women that had children as a teen and had one later in their 30s or late 20s, and they were like the older they were, the more damage happened to their body. So
The,
biologically,
the courts aren't going off
biologically,
biology.
it's easier for a woman to birth children the younger she is. It's just that, like I said, as time went on, you have people that won't correct these guys. Like, how are you calling this girl a hoe when you know she's a virgin? You know you popped her cherry, and you're letting guys call her a hoe. And then
I
you know
don't
what I
think
mean?
I don't think the government got involved in the statutory R laws to prevent girls from being called hoes. They don't care about that. They don't care about biology, whether you bounce back at a younger age or at an older age. I think it's because they started to recognize that in our society, young marriages are less than ideal. We're not just farmers anymore. We're technicians, we're scientists. It takes us longer now to step out in the world as adults, and they don't want married kids in junior high. You know what I mean?
But the reason why they don't want that is because they want more separated households. Because I think it was, I forgot where I heard this, but they were like, if if we come together too soon and stay together, then that's one refrigerator we bought, one stove, one, you know what I mean? But if we're all adults and we're all consumers, that's more consuming, you know?
Oh, let me respond to something that the Divide said earlier, in which he said, the younger female is the more like, the more advantageous is her it is for her to have children. The older she is, the less advantageous is. Okay, there is a such thing as a female being too young to have children, and that's if she has children before she's fully developed. I mean, on average, a person is fully developed or finished going through puberty at 16 or 17 years old. So, therefore, biologically, on average, it is dangerous for a female to have children before she's 16 to 17 years old because she's not fully developed yet. And there
But
have been children
there,
at that
there
age.
are
Hold on, the divide.
okay,
There have been children at that age who have given birth and have, you know, who have been young. Excuse me. There have been children who've been younger than 16 who gave birth and died as a result of giving birth because their bodies was not fully developed yet to even give birth, or their body just
well,
totally messed up.
I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you because if now we need to start talking about what color these people are, because black women are four times more likely to die giving birth in a first world nation. African women in Africa are more safe giving birth than black women in America. So that is
Huh?
that. Yes, there are plenty of studies that show that African women have a higher success rate, and that Black women in America are four times, if not more, likely to die giving birth.
Okay, but
This is the
okay.
fact.
When you say women, you're talking about adults.
I'm talking about any pregnant person.
Okay, a
Are you
woman is not a child. A woman is an adult. So if you're talking about a woman, you're talking about an adult. That's a totally different story.
But I think she's saying
I'm
the
talking about
statistic applies to
underage
all
I'm talking about
females.
all of
Okay,
females.
no, no, I'm only talking about
Sorry for that.
underage females. I'm not talking about the
what I'm
the
saying is
entire
I'm
all
talking about
females
grown
be
women that
all
die
throughout
giving
the age group.
kids.
I'm
There are
strictly
grown women
hold
that
on
die
the divide. Hold on the divide. I'm strictly speaking about females who are under the age of 16, females who have not yet gone through puberty. It is dangerous for them to get pregnant. It's dangerous. That can be a potential a health issue. Now, is that the case for every single female underneath the age of 16? No, but that is the case for a lot of them. It's very dangerous.
And my point is, it's very dangerous for black women, of black girls and women, just because they're black. In this society, in the United States,
Huh?
it's dangerous. Do research. There's
Just
so many studies about why are black women more likely to die giving childbirth in a first world nation. Why, and that includes teens, girls. It doesn't matter what age they are. They're just more prone to death giving birth here. That's just a fact.
okay. What I'm saying has nothing to do with the race of the female because I'm speaking about females of all races who are underneath the age of 16, whether they'll be black, white, yellow, green, polka dot, whatever. It's still dangerous for underage females to get pregnant. That's all I'm saying. What you're saying is totally different. It's sort of like a straw man argument that you're bringing up.
That's a strong man argument.
It is a straw man. Now you're bringing up why black females or all ages are more likely to die giving birth and stuff like that. That's totally different from what I was saying. The reason why I brought up is again to push back on statutory R or adults marrying females at a very young age. One of the reasons why states put up these uh, age of consent laws was to stop, once again, was to stop younger females from getting pregnant because it was dangerous for them to get pregnant. And when I mean younger females, I'm speaking about females under the age of 16. That's all I'm talking about. What you talking about is totally different, man. But yeah, I got it. Go ahead.
How y'all doing tonight?
Hello.
Oh, what's your take on this whole conversation? Because I'm just listening. It's very interesting. What's your take on it?
I think first of all, I think I'm excited to see the new content in the debates. And I know you're gonna just get better as you go. So fresh ideas and conversation. I think tough conversations are needed. One of the reasons I came up is to talk about um this relationship and where does it begin and where will it end, the types of relationships, and I want to debate why do we validate, we generally speaking, not anyone on this panel,
Mhm.
why do we validate boyfriend and girlfriends when we know we don't own anyone, you're not getting anything in the will, and on top of that, if we were to have a child outside of wedlock, that child is cursed or is a bastard. And then we validate that. And on top of that, sometimes we have grandkids and then great grandkids outside of wedlock on top of that. So morally speaking, you're already uphill with a curse. But
Mm.
then we sit here and we try to generate some positivity from that when it's definitely holding us back 78%
Can,
out of wedlock
what
kids.
what's your name again, sir?
Ken John.
Ken John. Are you
Hmm.
what country you from?
I'm from the Bahamas. I was born in Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
If I could kind of sum it up, if I'm trying to get what you're saying, are you pretty much saying that pretty much our culture or maybe some other cultures have kids and we not following the structure of maybe leaving down wealth. Beings that, like you said, kids are being having kids out of wedlock, and then we're not leaving down financial wealth to help our kids continue wealth into their kids, and by having kids out of wedlock, we, other cultures are getting ahead in life. That make any sense?
That's a second reason, but the most important reason is the curse. If you use the Game of Thrones reference, a bastard is already uphill. Spiritually, he has battles. She has battles. The little baby, unborn into this world out of wedlock, has spiritual battles. Let's be clear. We, as a black culture community, we validate boyfriend and girlfriend. And then if we make a mistake and pregnant her, we then make positives out of that or try to, when it's clear that you're cursed and you're moving uphill already. So I would debate anyone that that's toxic, and we need to go towards nuclear families regardless of the financial talking points. Just don't have bastard children. It's an uphill spiritual battle already. And I'll
Kenshawn, let
debate
me ask
anyone with it.
I found an
you ever
article, excuse me, I found an article about the comparison of births of Black American women to African women. And it was done by Minnesota, I think the Minnesota State Health Board. And what they say is, I'm going to read it for the person in the comments that said that they don't believe that. They
Hmm.
said that in general, the birth outcomes of infants born to American Black women, I mean, to Black women born in Africa were better than infants born to Black women born in the United States. And I'll just
Mm.
leave it there.
I got two things to say. One, to build off what the divide said, I actually was looking up stats, and it appears that mortality to women giving birth increases with age, not decreases, and significantly so in their 40s and above. But then to Kenshawn, I want to say, what do you see as the ideal method for men and women to partner up, if not the boyfriend girlfriend, you know, dynamic? How would you propose men and women pair up for marriage?
Is that question for me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, I think what we have to do is, I think, we're being transformed and programmed. I think it's going to take a lot of reprogramming us. I think we adopt too much to hip hop. We adopt too much to slander of one another. Our frequency is way off. And I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person. So I am a God, and I understand that I have to reach God level or Christ level. And so the God is in me that I have to unlock, and then everything else will come after. But so I am, when I pray or when I manifest or I affirmate, I'm doing it from a confident position. I'm not praying hoping that a man will bring something or a man will come and save me. So I think we need to reprogram from a esoteric standpoint and release some of this European ways of us being programmed. So that will take some work, and then move on from there. So it's going to take, for me, my opinion, it's
My,
just is we've been programmed by the holidays. We've put spells on ourselves. We say
yes.
we can't do anything. So that's esoteric spells.
Can
It's
I
a
speak that
bunch of
when you
things.
finish? Can I speak when you finish?
Go ahead.
All right. I just want to elaborate a little bit on that. He's touching on the. He brought the conversation real deep. Um. Let's go a little bit deeper, right? Let's look at music. Let's look at the history. Let's look at uh let's just look at black culture. You know what I'm saying? Where black culture came from and how we did start off to where we are at now. we it is a what did you say, a curse. It is a curse. It is a curse. The music is a curse. The frequency is a curse. If you could look up Todd, I forgot his name, and they was saying like the music in like the 80s, what they did with the music, they would take the music and they would go into these rooms and create these stars, and they would curse the music. They would curse the music, and when you look at the music, how we look at our sequence of music of, I like to thank you, Heavenly Father, or this music that was soulful, godly, and it was just dance music, to how it converted over into rock music, hip hop music. And right now you have drill music. You understand what I'm saying? That's why sometimes people say, when I'm in my car, I have maybe two, three cars, right? Now one car I have a system in, one car I purposely don't have a radio in it, just for a peace of mind. And I like to drive that car, just to drive it, just to, I don't want to hear no music, and I just want to have a peace of mind. So I think people need to get in touch. uh, it's a lot of interference going on. It's a lot of interference going on, and if you don't know you're being, eh, like, there's interference going on, and you allow all this currency, from music to TV to these TV shows, it plays a part. And like he said again, it's a curse. So I think it just make me find myself just talking with y'all. I try to stay away from these curses. I try to have a peace of mind, no music. Sometime maybe take a walk in the park, just listen to the birds chirping, have a peace of mind. Because if you don't have a peace of mind, you're going to be influenced by the currency out here, the negativity, the things that you hearing, bitch, hole, nigga, smoke weeds, just so much stuff, till you
And
start to feel
if I
like,
can elaborate on a little on what you said, brother, you know, a cube in the cross, the cube means that you don't think outside the box. That's
mm,
what blocks your God consciousness. So nobody needs to tell Melody, for example, that she can be a God. She is a God. She just
yes,
has to unlock it to
yes,
the belief system and the reprogramming that she
yes,
needs so she doesn't need to bow on her knees from a weak standpoint and hope that someone saves her. She
yes,
needs to attain affirmation. She needs to know her sign. Then she would know her attributes, because the constellations and the universes would control the energies which would give her the outcome of this life, for
yes,
example. So we, like I said, the reprogramming society has us programmed to be capitalist or individualism, or if
mhm,
we look at the Tower of Babel in the scriptures. So individualism, we can do anything with our minds if we
yes,
put our minds together.
right,
So that goes against what the Bible says to be individual, because individuals is it would I would think that if you're lacking something, then I can capitalize and sell you that for a price. But with connectivity and consciousness and all of us being on one consciousness, we can then build a Tower of Babel straight up to the heavens. So that just shows you, if
yes.
all of us reach God consciousness, then we can overcome many curses, not just the one I brought up tonight.
Can I don't want to put my personal business out there. I'm not the brightest person. You understand what I'm saying? But what I did do in my life is got in touch with myself and believe that what I put my mind to, I can do. I'm not going to say what I have, what I done, or how people may say, you have this, you doing this. I'm not going to glorify that, because I'm not on this platform to do that. You understand what I'm saying? But people, I it's just that people give me the strength to let me know that me having that peace of mind with myself, I achieved certain things that people haven't achieved because they haven't had that peace of mind. They could do it too. You understand what I'm saying? They could do it too, but like you said, they haven't got in touch with that inner self.
This is very interesting conversations.
Am I the only
Wow.
one who has no idea what those dudes are talking about?
They're talking about energy. They kind of changed the subject just a little, but I'm here for it. I mean,
I don't. That's like a spirituality thing. I don't know, man. That feels like superstition to me. But
You said it's in.
Exactly. And this is why platonic, like let's say for example, platonic relationships with women. You're not gonna be cool or have great energy or biofeel with a woman because you want to have sex with her. It's because energy and vibrations can reach out 33,000 miles away. Your
Mm,
biofield can extend that far, and hence someone will like your spirit. So this is why you have people like each other's spirit online. It's not because you're a weirdo or you're stalking. It's because
mhm.
the energy and the vibrations of each of one of us out of our biofields persist. And so platonic relationships between men and women exist and they are real. So um continue.
hmm, okay. Anybody else have anything to say on that subject before we move on?
I would like for that brother to take my page, and I definitely want to do a show with him, and definitely get in touch with that and tap in to the people with that subject. That's just something I wanted to say.
Melody, I would like to share something if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. First, I think he asked Ken Sean for his information or something. What are you
Oh, go
trying to
ahead.
do?
My fault. My bad.
And then you can ask me.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I you pressed it in the private chat on all social medias. I'm Kenshawn. My channel is Kenshawn, and
Okay.
my Twitter is also Kent Sharif West. So that's my Twitter.
All right, you put it in the back chat.
Yes, I'll continue typing it there.
All right, definitely. I want you to take my email if you can. I'm gonna put it in the back chat, and I definitely want to I want to continue. Just continue to follow up on this conversation because I feel like a lot of people don't understand and they don't understand this energy frequency thing, and I definitely want to tap in with you and support some people on that.
Anytime, brother. Anytime anyone wants, just reach out to me. I'm a holistic health coach, so health is the first thing that I deal with. I coach people in terms of neuroscience, tools, and so yeah, anytime anyone needs any advice or confidence or anything coaching like that with dealing with health, just hit me up. I'm happy to share or help.
Perfect. Thank you for that. So you guys hear that? Contact him. His information is in the back chat for anybody on the panel. Marky, you said you wanted to ask me a question.
Yeah, I would like to share something. If you see the screen share
Okay, let me go check it
on
out
your
right
end,
now. Yes, I see it.
yeah, can you post that up? Okay, I'm put the
Well,
link. Hold on.
I'm on my phone, so I can't really do much. But you can go ahead and read that. What is that exactly?
Do you guys see this? Do anybody see it? Let me know if you see it.
Yeah, I see
We
it.
see it.
All right. This is from the World Health Organization, where, as of 2020, speaks about adolescent pregnancy, uh, aka teenage pregnancy, right? And I'll
Mhm.
just read the context where it says adolescent pregnancies are a global problem occurring in high, middle, and low income countries, basically almost every country around the world, right? Around the world, however, adolescent pregnancies are more likely to occur in marginalized communities, commonly driven by poverty and lack of education and employment opportunities. One example, Black America, right?
Mhm.
Because Black America have been heavily marginalized, unfortunately. Okay, I'll continue reading. It says several factors contribute to adolescent pregnancies and births. In many societies, girls are under pressure to marry and bear children early. In least developed countries, at least 39% of girls marry before the age of 18, 12% before the age of 15. Now, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna go right here where it says health consequences. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. You know, I, okay. It says the health consequences. And it goes on and says early pregnancies among adolescents have major health consequences for adolescent mothers and their babies. Pregnancy and childbirth complications are the leading cause of death among girls aged 15 to 19 years globally, with low and middle income countries accounting for 99% of global maternal deaths of women ages 15 to 49 years. You understand what this says? This says the leading cause of death of of females around the world ages 15 to 19 is pregnancy, because a lot of females within that age range are pregnant when their bodies are not ready for it. But I'll continue reading. Adolescent mothers aged 10 to 19 years face higher risks of these diseases: eclampsia, uh, puerperal endometriosis, and systemic infections than women aged 20 to 24 years. So, uh, mothers between the ages of 10 and 19 face more health issues giving birth than mothers between the ages of 20 and 24 years, because between 20 and 24 years, females are more developed. They're adults, they're more developed. So, therefore, their bodies are more prepared to have children. In comparison to those who are under the age of 16, whatever. Additionally, I'll continue reading. It says, additionally, some 3.9 million unsafe abortions. Oh, this goes. Okay, I'll read here. Early childbearing can increase risk for newborns as well as young mothers. Babies born to mothers under 20 years of age face higher risk of low birth weight, preterm delivery, and severe neonatal conditions. So
Mhm.
basically, the World Health Organization is stating that it's very unhealthy for females under a certain age to give births. It increases their cause of death. So that's what I'm trying to say when it comes to in America, as far as each state having a certain age of consent. One of the reasons was to avoid a lot of young girls to give births at such a young age, because their bodies on average are not really prepared for that. So
That
that's
makes
why
a
I'm saying
lot of
that's a
sense.
dangerous thing. Yeah.
Mm.
So I'm going to post
But
the
the
link.
law doesn't prevent them
So
from
I'm done
getting
with that.
pregnant. It just prevents them from getting pregnant by an older man. They can still get pregnant from kids their own age.
Yeah. You're right about that. Correct. But the thing is that prior to these different age of consent laws in the United States, it was mainly adult males that was marrying, females at the age of 13, 14, 15 years old. So it was mainly them doing that at the time. So these different states in the United States made laws to stop that. But I'm done with that. I'll put the link to this page in the private chat, so anybody could copy and paste it and put it in the public chat if y'all want to. I'm done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I googled it. I was reading along with you on my computer. But one interesting thing
Okay.
about what it says there is it does say that um, low and middle income countries account for 99% of global maternal deaths. So this
Yeah.
isn't really the statistics in first world countries, but
Well,
it still holds true that there was probably something going on biologically that
what a
first world countries have maybe figured out how to treat, but that's still endemic around the world. So yeah,
well.
your point
Okay.
stands. Your point stands.
Okay, but I'm gonna respond to that. Well, teenage pregnancy, as far as in the United States, have actually decreased drastically. So there's less teenage pregnancy now than it was ever before. So, and still in other countries, especially in developing or third world nations, teenage pregnancies is even gets higher and higher. So that's why it's, you see more maternal deaths among teenage females in other countries because it's happening more often than in the United States.
Right.
But it still counts though around the world.
Hmm. Interesting. So, Divide, what do you have to say about that? Because he just put up an article.
I mean, I don't really care. A lot of reckless girls that do that and they die. Okay, I don't care. But my main problem, because we were talking about the age of consent and all this and that, what I have a problem with is when because I have brothers and stuff. I have male cousins, and I've seen a few of them get jammed up over this age of consent thing. You know what I mean? And I
Hmm.
don't I don't like that. Like, and I know there's no way that we can differentiate between, those who are lying, those who want to ruin a guy's life because he doesn't want to be with her. I've just seen it happen on the back end. But yeah, I mean, it's just dangerous to give birth. It's dangerous. You can lose your life. It can happen at any age. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it could happen at any age. I agree, but it's even riskier when a female gets pregnant when they're too young and when they're too old.
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree.
So, okay. So, I want to move on to another topic. One of the news articles was talking about cheating, correct, Blue? You
Yeah,
there,
man. But
Blue?
you guys have a good night, man. I gotta go. I gotta go to bed, man. So y'all have a good night.
Well, good night. Thanks for coming.
All right, no problem. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay. Thank you. All right, Blue. You there? Okay, I guess he's not. Blue, you sleep or you? All right, whatever. Yeah. So one of the news articles was talking about cheating. I believe the woman killed her husband for cheating. Her husband and the woman. Have you? Okay, so have any of you guys ever caught your boyfriend or girlfriend cheating and almost did something crazy?
I'm single, so
Oh, hi, Terrell.
hey Melody, good to be back on your show again for the second time.
Thanks for coming. So listen, did you ever well, first of all, did you have anything to say on the topics that we were talking about?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I was just gonna focus on this topic 'cause I just got in. I wasn't around for the earlier topic, so I was just
Oh,
gonna speak on the cheating part.
okay. So the cheating. So let's start with you since you're new up here. Um, did you ever, so you said you been single, so did you ever have like a girlfriend?
Yeah.
Did you ever catch her cheating?
Well, no.
No. Okay. How about you, Mr. Know-it-all?
No, but at the same time, I mean, people have killed for less.
That's
So
true.
I
True.
don't know. Not to say there's an excuse, but it's not. It's not. I could imagine if I was in a situation like that, doing something that could result in somebody's death, even if it's just an ass whooping.
Yeah, but
But see,
sometimes
I didn't hear that. How did she kill them though? Shot
Blue,
them.
I believe she shot them. Yes, both of them.
Wow, him and
But
her?
I mean,
Yeah. Mhm.
while they were in the act, or she caught up with them later.
Were they in the act, Blue? Thought I heard him talking, but I didn't. I believe they were in the act.
Yeah, see, if you you catch someone cheating in the act, who knows where your mind will go.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
mean, you
Like
gotta
if I
black
happen to
out
be
and
holding a
leave.
gun in my hand when I saw that, or be within reach of a gun, I don't know.
but are you gonna shoot both of them or just
Your
the man?
partner.
You don't
You're
shoot
gonna
neither of them. It's best for you to walk away and just move on to the next relationship. It ain't worth
Yeah.
taking a.
that's the logical thing to do. Yeah,
Well,
I don't
that's what I'm saying. That's a logical thing. But I mean, if I'm being
right.
real, if I'm just happen to be, holding my gun about to put it in the drawer, and I walk in on my lady
Oh,
cheating,
Kevin Murray said that she ran them over.
Okay, she ran them over. Okay, oh, that's even okay, that's crazy.
That's even
Ooh,
more sexual.
some.
but
So
see,
she
that's what I'm
ran them
saying. I mean,
over.
if you're driving down the street and there's your man with another woman, you, I don't
They
know.
they were leaving a restaurant. Okay. So I'm thinking of another story. So yeah, so the one Kevin's talking about, they were leaving a restaurant and she ran them over and killed them.
Wow.
So Divide, have you ever been in that situation where you caught your boyfriend or husband or whoever cheating?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Ye-
So what happened in that situation?
I left. I mean, clearly you don't value me. I'm out the door. And they always come crawling back. I'm not getting into any foolery. You understand? None.
Yeah, same here. Um, I've caught I've caught someone in that act before. I opened the door and saw them both there naked. I just walked out. I didn't want to argue. I didn't want to fight. And I'm not
Exactly.
mad at the woman. Only time I would be mad at the woman is if she knew about me. Like if we were cool, close, or if she just knew about me and tried to
Yeah.
get, try to do something messed up to me.
You know
That's
what?
the only time.
You
Go
know
ahead.
what be funny?
What's that?
If both of them women go jump the dude, cause they both feel like they been played and put against one another. Cause sometimes that happens.
I'm pretty sure that happens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But I don't want to deal with that woman. Like, mm-mm. Like, even though she didn't do anything wrong because she didn't know about me, I still don't want to talk to her. I don't want to deal with her. So that's out of the question.
Hey, you think a woman will fight another woman if, let's say, if the woman prettier than her, then she might get jealous. But if a woman uglier than her, she may not feel intimidated. You know, some women do feel some way and they get shit on with somebody who better looking than them.
That is a thing. Um, I think that's a thing. I don't think I would care if she looked better than me or not because he still cheated on me regardless. So I'm gonna feel the same way. But I do think women are jealous when they see that their husband upgraded or their boyfriend upgraded to something better than them. What about you? What do you think? Divide. What do you think about that?
I think that generally speaking, most women are insecure in some form or another. It doesn't matter how beautiful she looks. That's just generally speaking. They're really insecure because oh, don't make me go into the different things. Like you know how we talk about guys. Is it cheating? Is it them tapping into their masculinity, right? Because sex for them is way different than sex for women. Like
Hmm.
they don't view it like us. It's just like it's
Right.
not the same. So for you to lose your mind for a man tapping something else, to me, like you're psychotic. You're really retarded.
Hmm. Because women, we catch feelings when we have sex usually, whereas men, they just do it to get their rocks off. So
Sexual
it's like,
Right,
tension.
right.
so it's way worse when we cheat.
It is, and of course because we're internal, it's just I thank God that like I've had a lot of got my dad, my brothers, my cousins, like they let me know, like It's basically like using a woman's body as a toilet. You're just using her. That's it. They don't care about her. They don't even
Right.
like her. Like they're using her as a cum dumpster. Like why can't these broads get that fact in their head? Why can't they
Exactly.
understand that?
So
But I digress.
how do you feel about a side chick though? Because he's investing time into her.
Well, nowadays I understand that because there's too many you know, STDs, and you need to know who you're dealing with. So I in this day and age, I understand if you want to have a permanent side piece, I'll put it to you this way. It's like getting leverage. Like like what can I find out what she can lose in this situation, right? Because if you're out
Mhm.
there popping randoms, what if this is a broad that has nothing to lose, right? She's grimy, she's slimy, she's associated with a bunch of grimy guys that can come after you. Like you don't want to do that. You don't want to die from from having sex. So I agree
True.
with side chick. I get it. I get it.
Mhm. I mean, what about the guys? Okay, I understand what you're saying. What about the men? Let's go with Mr. Know It All. How do you feel about side pieces?
Uh, I mean, they have no place for a serious relationship. I mean, I wouldn't expect any woman to tolerate a man she's married to having side chicks.
Right. So what about a woman having a side dude?
Same thing. But I mean, if that, that's also a way people date these days. Like they just.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm not saying it's right or ideal, but some people always just got other people on the back burner or on the side. But I don't think if we're is somebody snoring.
Blue?
Yeah, someone sleep.
Blue? All right. So he's asleep. So let me mute him up. Okay, go ahead.
But I mean, half the time we talk about black culture and what we're trying to elevate to, and it seems at one moment we're trying to improve the community and build families and this and that, and the next moment we're endorsing side chicks.
Hmm.
That's a contradiction to me.
Yeah, same.
Wait,
I
what's that
agree.
on this side? What's that?
What did you say?
Did
I
you
didn't
ask
hear
me
you.
What did he say? What's the contradiction?
that we admit that we need to strengthen the black family and build nuclear families, but then at the same time endorsing side chicks.
Well, I only say that because if you're not Muslim, you can't marry multiple women. So what do you do? You know what I'm saying? It would be way better if these women knew what time it was, right? Hopefully they could live on the same land, not in the same house, and you can build from there. That is building strong families because both women's children, which is this man's children, they get to see their dad, they get to grow up together. I don't see any negativity with that. What's happening now? Oh no, no, only me. And he tips out behind the door. Now he has this broken family and another one. Then he breaks up with both of them, goes on to another one, creates some more bastard delinquents. It would be way better if people would just realize, like, look, I'm not a one woman man. I'm gonna want one or two more, whatever he can afford, and they work together like as like a communal sort of thing. That makes more sense than what's going on right now. There's too many STDs. There's too many bastard children out here. These broads don't know how to raise the kids. They need men around. Men, just even if a guy is weak, just the fact that he's a man, it commands respect from these kids. Like these kids have no fear, no respect, no nothing. Something's got to change.
But do you
No,
think a
in
guy?
the
Do you think a guy who had multiple kids by multiple women? That theory you're saying makes sense if you're dealing with a man who takes care of his multiple kids by multiple women. But if you're one
Yes,
of these
sir.
guys who has kids you're not taking care of, then you're not really stepping out because you desire to start another family.
Right,
no in the African countries, in the Middle Eastern countries, they practice this thing called polygamy, where the man get 5 wives. But one thing about
hmm,
this is the man take care of all the wives and all the kids, and
right,
usually people are well off that can afford to have 5 wives and many children, because they make sure they take care of all their families. Yeah, it still
right.
be kind of a little wrong and cheating, but at least they stay by their word and protect and make sure their offspring grows up and well taken care of. But here in America, we got dudes that wanna get with multiple women, make multiple kids, but they don't want to take care of them. They just want to move on to the next woman, make her a single mama, move on to the next. They like
But let's be
live.
honest, these broads are making themselves baby mamas because if you understand, like, let's just be real. If you open your legs, there's a high possibility that you will get knocked out. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
know this guy, if you don't know anything about his family, like, why are you having raw sex? I do believe like both are responsible, but like if I'm gonna carry it and I'm gonna have to raise this child by my, I'm gonna be very selective with who is gonna raw dog me, right? Because I don't want to be a
Absolutely.
baby mama. You understand what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? I
Yep,
take
but
it seriously. I'm not gonna give a child to anybody. Like that guy has to earn that. These broads are just every guy they have sex with, they're having bastards. They're shitting them out like it's candy. It doesn't make sense.
another thing is that when they produce these kids, they just forget about them, don't want to take care of them. They just move on to the next relationship like it ain't nothing. Forgot they produce offspring, but I forgot what I was going to say. So whoever want,
But
I let
the
whoever want.
divide, the divide. Would you
Hmm?
like to be in this relationship?
What's that?
Would you like to be in a polygamous marriage?
I'm not against it. I don't know if I would like to, but I'm totally for it. Like if my husband wanted another wife or two other wives, I would totally consider that, you know? Totally.
But would you expect to get something out of it as well? And I'm not talking about sexual, but oftentimes when a man has a polygamous marriage, he consults the first wife, and they have some
Right.
sort of agreement on the second wife. He can't just go out and pick whoever he wants. So if your husband was said he wanted a second wife, what traits would you need her to have for you to,
You know,
you know?
I would want her to be what he wants, right? I would like for us to get along. You know, I want her to be clean, to help out. Like I definitely could use a helping hand. I definitely could. I think I think it would be really smart if people would start thinking like what do I have to lose? Imagine three incomes, right? And maybe somebody's mother that's retired watches all the kids and like we you could really start making moves when you have like I see a lot of Korean people did that when I lived in Cali. The grandma, the great grandma, whatever, she was really old. They would all stay home and watch all the kids. Right. And there were a lot of adult children living there with like they were married and stuff, but it was so communal. Everyone worked out, and I'm not saying they were polygamists or anything, but I'm just using them as an example because there was a lot of stuff going on in their house. There were a lot of people there, but they all like someone did the cooking, another did the cleaning. You know, the grandma tended to the kids. Someone did the laundry. It's like everybody had a role. Nobody was tired. No one was paying all the bills. And I just thought that was beautiful. I like that. And also with polygamous families that aren't weird. I'm talking about like they have a goal in mind. We have this land. We're gonna farm. We're gonna raise cattle. Whatever they want to do. They teach their kids. Their kids have chores, and it's just beautiful. I love it.
Well, let me give you maybe another um, view on that. So both of my grandparents were polygamous. One of them had four wives. I don't know how many the other had. I think he had four as well. And so, I jokingly or half jokingly joke to my parents sometimes that I want to be a polygamist. And every time I
You
say that,
do?
I say, it's intriguing, but I see some pitfalls to it.
What are the pitfalls you think?
Well, the things that they tell me, they tell me that the wives feuded a lot.
They what a lot?
They fought.
Oh, oh.
The wives fought a lot. And,
Yeah, see,
you know,
that's not good. That's not good. Though, you gotta get along. You wait, were they in the same house or did they live
they were
in
on the
separate houses?
same they were on the same compound.
And they
But,
were that
they would all cook, for example. It wasn't like one mother cooked. They all cooked.
so
I don't
he
know.
did
I
a
can't
bad
speak. I
job
can't
at
speak in
picking the
detail
broad.
about it. Say again.
He probably did a poor job on picking the women. You have to be very methodical. You know what I mean? You can't just pick anybody. Oh, if she moves your penis, like that's not enough. That's not enough. You got to be very systematic with how you choose the women, and it can work.
But not just choose them, treat them. I mean, so let's say you have a husband, he just has two wives, and you co-sign the second wife, but then like one week he's giving all his attention to her. You know, he's oblivious to the fact that he's not splitting his attention evenly. But you take notice. You know,
Mm,
I mean, where would that go?
to hell, that can get dangerous.
So I
Wow.
mean, the fighting is inevitable. You're not going to go the entire marriage. I mean, just even one husband and wife, they're going to fight from time to time. Well, if you have a
Mm.
man and two wives, three wives, four wives, I can just imagine how legendary the the fights get.
Oh my
But
God.
another thing he told me, my aunt told me this story, was that one time all the wives were fighting, and he swooped down, took all the kids, and was like, "All right, kids, let's go over here." And while the women were bickering, he was like the good parent to the kid. In the kids' eyes, they saw him as the rational parent, the nice parent,
Right.
because he let them fight and do whatever they were doing, and then he kept the kids calm and was like, don't worry about that. That's going to be okay, and kept them happy. So it seems like he at least had a method in place for letting them handle their own disputes.
See,
But then my
that's
dad,
why, like,
oh, go
that's
ahead.
why I think that guys that do polygamy, like, they need to marry triplets or quadruplets, or sisters, like, because I think that would make it easier, at least on the man. But we're
I think
raised.
what you have to do is you have to, whoever's the first wife, she has to have like a little bit of seniority in
Yeah.
that her authority is deferred to more often than the other wives,
And don't
and the
she
wives have to defer to her authority.
and don't the first wife she picks the other girls? Is that true?
From my
I
understanding,
mean, I
they
know she has
co-sign.
input.
They don't pick them, but they can, you know, they can stand in the way of the union coming together. So they have to co-sign it eventually, basically. From my
Mm.
understanding, I don't know what my grandpa did. I didn't ask, but I've seen in other situations the first wife has to agree on who the second wife is, and then the first two wives have to agree on who the third wife is, but the man still chooses. This is the woman I want in the marriage. What do you think?
Hmm. Also, he actually gets their opinion. And if they say no, then he'll look for someone else.
Yeah, they don't just go out and find some woman for him. He still finds the woman on his own,
Hmm.
but he has to find somebody who's acceptable to all the previous wives.
Right. That's very interesting to me.
Would you be in a polygamous relationship, Melody?
No.
Even if you're the first wife?
Huh?
Even if you're the first wife?
Yeah, no, I don't. That's not for me. Guess it's for some people. I just want to be with one man and I want him to just be with me. I know it's probably selfish because what do you guys feel about men? Um, People say that men shouldn't be locked down with one woman. Do you guys believe in that?
I believe that if he promises
need
one woman, he should be with one woman.
Okay.
for me, I
So,
don't need
Don't make a
fan.
promise and then 10 years into the marriage, like I can't handle it.
all right. So, what about you, Terrell?
Me, I just need one woman. I can't handle multiple women. I just need one. Cause if you got that one that you really like in love with and care about, you won't need a second woman. People who need second women, they not happy with the first one. So they gotta get something that first woman don't have and get from that second woman.
Mm. What about you?
No, I don't agree. I think that I'll put it to you this way. I think that giving giving your man an option, like if for him to not have that, if you cheat on me, you're gonna lose your house, your family, you're gonna get divorced, great blah. Like having that removed from over him, I think would probably make him not even want to seek out somebody else. Like just because he's free to do it, he's like, oh, I'm good. These buds don't have anything for me. But I definitely don't want to make it like, no, I am the only one that you can be with for the rest of your life. I have brothers. I talk to my dad. Like that is unreasonable for a
Mm.
man. That's just unreasonable for most men. Let me say that for most men.
All right, well, then let me ask you this question, The Divide. Would you rather your man have a side piece or a second wife?
Um, a side piece, like,
And
can't a
also, I got
side
to
piece be
jet, but I'm going to
long
be
term?
listening off. I'm going to be listening from the chat, but I do got to get off the panel. But
Yeah,
yeah, if
but
you can answer that real quick.
I was about to say, yeah, it's late. I'm gonna take it down myself, but if you can answer that for him,
Oh, you're not
Divine.
staying up?
No.
I don't know the difference between a side chick and a second wife, but because I know side chicks that are a side chick for decades. Like I don't know if you know who Bishop Noel Jones is. Like he had this,
Sounds
he
sounds
was
familiar.
dating this girl for like 27 years. I don't know if
Mhm.
she was a side chick though. But yeah, he's an older pastor. He's very popular in LA. His sister is Grace Jones. You know, Grace Jones is a legend, and he just got married after like almost 30 years of dating. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's a difference between a side chick and a. I guess I would prefer a second wife. If I don't know. I don't know if I don't know what the difference is.
Well, the second wife, pretty much she's married to him, so she gets, I guess, what's his too, like the resources and everything. Whereas a side chick, she's just there for the sex. Whenever he gets horny and he wanna go and have sex with her, he'll go have sex with her.
So
But
she's just there for sexual pleasure.
pretty much,
The side chick.
yeah, the side chick, but the wife, she's actually his wife.
Yeah, they're building, they're doing something more than okay, okay, I got it. I got it.
Right. So now can you answer the question?
Yeah, second wife. Second wife.
Really?
Definitely.
That's interesting.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah,
both
I'm
of us
really,
are the side piece.
I just, I don't know. I'm just different. I've never understood. You know what? I did go to school with a lot of Middle Eastern people, so maybe that really, I just view it differently, like
Yeah.
having kids that you go to school with, and they're like, yeah, their dad's other wife, or I don't know what they called the other mothers in the house, but everything was Gucci. They had a whole bunch of siblings. None of them got beat up. I liked it. To me, it looked good as a child growing up. I'm like, I like that. I like that because the
Yeah.
more the merrier sometimes.
Hmm. No, yeah, I disagree. I would have to say, if I had to choose, definitely the side piece over the second wife.
No, I'm American, Terrell, or Terrell. I don't know how to say that.
Or Terrell.
Mhm.
Terrell, I'm American.
I thought you were Caribbean for a minute.
You know what? Everybody thinks I'm African or, from the island because like I've never really gotten along with Americans, to be honest. I always got along with immigrants, foreigners. And when
Yeah.
they find out you're an American Negro,
Well,
then
I
they
ain't love
cast
you.
you out.
Well, I ain't love with your picture. It look nice. You look like you a model in that picture.
Oh, that's a filter for sure.
Well,
Um,
you look
That's
good
a
in that
filter.
filter.
Yeah, I wish I could look like that in real life. But no, it's a filter. I'm way darker than that.
I
I'm pretty sure
remember
you still
going.
look good in life.
Thank you, Terrell.
Yeah, Terrell's a sweetheart. But yeah,
Yeah.
I like that you keep it real. That's what I liked about you before. I remember when you came on
Yeah.
my panel and you was like, when I told you how beautiful I thought your picture was, you was like, oh, it's a filter. And, I was like, you know what? You can actually keep it real. A lot of these other women, they would not keep it real, you know?
Yeah. That's why I support you, Melody. Like, oh, if most women could be like you, there would be a sisterhood, and a lot of fuckery wouldn't exist. Because
Well,
I
thank
really think
you.
that I think that because women don't know how to have a relationship with each other, it spills over and ruins a lot of stuff that we think is unrelated.
Hmm.
It's a problem. Like I see you when anytime you have another girl on the panel, she doesn't shut up. You know what I mean? I know I'm being a chatty patty now, but I'm like, Jesus, is this broad ever gonna stop talking? Does she know that she's boring everybody? They don't care. That's
Hmm.
why whenever guys are like, oh, if you find a girl and she only has dude friends, it's a red flag. Nowadays, you can't, that's not fair. Like, guys don't understand what is the word, Melody? It's just not fun being around women. It's not
It's
fun.
not.
It's always gonna be one bitch that's gonna be a bossy bitch. She's never gonna shut the hell up, or she might
Hmm.
have bad kids that she won't correct. It's just a pain to be around them.
Yeah, I
They're
agree.
not considerate. They're not. Oh, go ahead, sis. Were you about to say that? Never happened.
Mm-mm, not at
you don't
all.
like being around other women?
I'm just saying. It's like to me it's like a thorn in my flesh being around them because let's say you're around women, a group of women, more than two, all right, whatever number that is. Whoever's the most quiet, whoever's the most timid, it's like they're all gonna pounce on that one. They're all going to try and sneak diss her. They're going to try and talk over her head. It's not fun to be around them. I don't want to hear a 3 hour story about your stupid whatever you're talking about. Like, I don't even know because they just incessantly ramble
Yeah,
about nothing. And then the minute you like, you could be interjecting something that like, whatever. Let's say you are keeping up with what she's saying, and you're trying to interject something to help her. She she's gonna go off. Don't overtalk. Don't cut me off. I'm talking. I'm talking. I'm talking. Yeah, we know you're talking. We know you're talking.
Mhm.
We know.
Yeah,
Please
some
Exactly.
women
stop.
get
Mhm.
emotional when they come up on the panels.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But I don't blame you, D Defied. I like to talk to foreigners too, especially people from the African continent or the Caribbean, or Latin America, because I usually like to get along and talk to with those people because I kind of interested in their culture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're much nicer. Like I like being around like Jamaican women and Trinidadian and like she said Haitian. They're so sweet. Whereas American women, they have a lot of envy. They're
Mm.
jealous, right? Divide
Yeah. Yes.
Miss Melody, you said you was Dominican, correct?
mixed. Yes. Well, I don't consider it mixed because it's like my both of my parents are black and my grandparents are from DR. So
So you
yeah,
can, so you basically are Afro Dominican.
pretty much. But I can't consider myself Dominican. I always say that because I was born here.
It
Well, you're a
So
doesn't matter.
Dominican American basically,
yeah, pretty much. I was born here. So
and you acknowledge your African side of the family,
yes, both parents
because
are
you
black.
know some Dominicans refuse to acknowledge their black side. They only want to acknowledge their European side. They only want to acknowledge their native side. But I see you acknowledge yours, which is good. Good that
Yeah,
you accept all your ancestry.
yeah. I mean, how could you not acknowledge it? Look at Dominicans, most of them. Brown
Yes.
skin, dark skin, kinky hair. Like how can you say you're not black?
Yeah, I'm not trying to force black on anybody, but I was just being real. See, I was just saying things how I see it. That's all. And look to me, you just look like a regular light skinned black girl that could be passed off as a black girl in the black community if someone sees you until they hear the accent and they see you speak Spanish or whatever.
Mm-hmm. He's funny
I
though.
study a lot. I study a lot of culture on YouTube. I be on many Hispanic channels.
Mhm. So you study them, you see them, you study them,
Yeah, I
and you
study.
get mad when they say they're not black.
No, I don't get mad.
Melody,
But
are you ever gonna visit the DR?
But I also study
I
other
mean,
Caribbeans and Africans too.
yeah, I mean, I've been there before, but on a cruise. I mean, but yeah, no, seriously, yeah, I want to go visit one day.
Please
You know,
let me know. Let me know when you're over there.
I definitely will.
I want to
Definitely.
go one day too.
You should. That'd be a nice trip to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go to the capital only. Like there's so much more to see, And
Yeah,
then my in-laws, they like you will have a blast. Just let me know. Let me know.
I definitely will.
And you should record it for your channel, Melody.
I definitely want to do that. That sounds like a plan.
You might have to go live doing it.
Yeah, I might even, I don't know, I might just do a pre-record. It's
Yeah,
probably better. Not really live. But yeah,
that
we'll
would be
see.
awesome. I hope you do it.
Yeah, we definitely will see how that works out.
I
Uh,
know you're getting sleepy, girl.
I am. I'm about to get some.
assuming, I'm
Hmm?
assuming that both of you women probably a lot older than I am since I'm 26.
Yes, I'm older. I'm not gonna say a lot older, but I'm older.
Cause it seems like every panel I go on, I'm the youngest one.
Yeah, I mean, 26 is pretty young.
Everybody else be in their 30s, 40s, few of them 50s. So
Yeah, 60s, 70s. Yeah, people are up there in age in the space. Definitely.
Yes.
All right, but I'm gonna go to bed.
I know you
Thanks
are,
for
Poo.
thanks for coming, Divide, and I still appreciate that what you gave me yesterday. I really do.
There's more to come, sis. I want to support you. We need more ladies like you. We need to
Um,
put you on the spotlight. In the spotlight, sorry.
I appreciate that, and you too,
Mm.
Yes.
because you're so sweet. You know.
We
Oh,
need more.
you are sweet, Melody. You are so sweet. I appreciate you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm behind you 1,000%, and I will keep supporting you whatever you need. Why don't you do videos? I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you go, but why don't you do video?
I
You're
have to
so
get.
beautiful.
Thank you. I have to get my laptop back. I'm on a phone right now, so
So you need a laptop.
yeah, I'm gonna get one though. I'm mad because I spent 800 and something on my last laptop, and my dog hit it and knocked tea over on it. So
Mm.
now, yeah, that just happened a few months ago. So I'm gonna buy another one very soon.
Yeah. Both of you ladies are very nice and friendly. I feeling good positive energy from both of y'all. Not no
Thank
talk.
you, Carol. Thank
Thank
you.
you, love. I appreciate it.
Anytime.
All right,
I'm gonna
I
have
well,
to
love
start
you.
coming here more often.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, definitely. And I want you to come more too, Divide. Like, come on, I like to hear. Cause
when
you
I
bring
come,
something
it's
different to the panel, you know?
live when I come here, Melody.
Huh?
It be live whenever I come.
Oh yeah, but I like the fact that you bring something different to the panel and you have different opinions, and I like that. I don't
Yeah,
like
I'm
the echo
crazy.
chamber. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Miss
All
Defied
right.
got a channel.
I do, but I took a pause. I got married, and oh boy. But
Oh,
I'm getting the hang of it now, so I'm gonna get back to it. But I haven't posted a video in like 6 months. I am
Oh, you don't do
fired.
live streams or nothing?
No, 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 no. Like I have like 2 subscribers.
Oh,
Yeah, but I'm gonna get back to it. I am.
okay. I thought you did content like Melody does.
No, I one day I'll get to her level, but I'm not there yet.
you funny. You really funny.
All
But
right,
yeah,
Melody and Terrell. Let's let Melody go to sleep. My poor poo poo is sleepy.
Yes. Well, any final thoughts before you guys go? Let's start with you, Terrell. Any
well,
final
I
thoughts?
was just when I come across, I find out you were very friendly and nice, and you talk a lot about the black community. So I figure, okay, she one of the ones that get along with us and very friendly and open and don't have no issue with us, which I appreciate very much because we don't need any more enemies. It'd be good we have more friends and have more people get along with and understand because we're not out here making enemies. We should try and learn, adapt, and overcome. And it's really good to come across a channel that hostility, fighting, and drama going along. I'm glad everybody around here
You
get
need
along.
a little drama.
So I'm glad I came across your channel because it looked like it mostly peaceful.
Yeah, it's very peaceful here. I try. I try. But
And
thanks
you,
for that. Oh, go ahead.
I said, well, you have a nice sweet voice and peaceful, and
Yes.
you don't yell, scream, or come out of character like some channels do. So
I
you seem
try
like you
not
like that.
to.
And I'll never hear you cussing or anything, fussing or get mad. So it
Well,
lets
thank
me
you. I
it lets me
appreciate
know
that.
that you're a very peaceful person.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And
And Divide, what are your final thoughts?
My final thoughts, Melody. I am speaking into existence your own talk show. I think you would be a great interviewer. You let people talk and get their whole thoughts out. I would love to see you with your own talk show or whatever your dreams are. I'm speaking it to existence, and that's all I gotta say.
Thank you. You're so sweet. I appreciate that.
All right, sweetie, y'all take care.
you
Okay,
too.
thank
Good night.
you. Good night.
Bye.
And thanks everybody for coming. Ruby and I are supposed to go live tomorrow, so make sure you guys tune in. Hey
I'll be
guys,
at work. Good night, Melody.
good night.